Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another Arcadia Roundtable. We're back again. I didn't give people much notice that we would be back, so thank you for making an effort to keep an eye on the channel and coming to watch this with us. Because I am a disorganized fool, but we make the best of it. I'm joined here by, returning after quite a little while away, Deadly Headley. Deadly, how are you doing?
Hello. Yeah, really good, thank you. Yeah, really good. I have not been brilliant. I did go to hospital last week. That was a bit horrible.
You said you were not feeling so good.
No. Still sort of actually trying to work out like what that actually is. But yeah, other than that, generally pretty good. Playing lots of games, which is nice. Not I say that I've barely played anything this week because I've had my head down in some potential work stuff. But outside of that, lots and lots of games, and that's been good.
Excellent. We'll obviously talk about those in a minute because this is a gaming podcast. So we'll get into the games that you've been playing, learn a little bit about them, start some questions and all that kind of stuff. But before we do, Luke,
mate,
how are you doing?
I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. I've also been playing lots of games. I've had a really good, intense week of games.
We asked this last week because last week you were good, and I think every week you're good. Do you ever have any low points?
Sometimes, yeah. It just depends. I mean, I because I have such a wide taste, I think there's always something that's grabbing me, which is nice. The problem I have is I'm cash rich but time poor. So like I just don't get enough. What I would say is enough time. Although this handy little fella,
He's still been on that.
Taking him to work is terrific. It's helping me a lot. So
that's interesting because I just assumed that you work from home and there were no buildings on the Isle of Jersey, but no, you do actually go.
Yeah, it's just
to
flat.
A place of work.
On the Isle of Jersey, I did not know that. That's a really interesting fact.
I do.
How is life on the Isle of Jersey? Just generally very curious. I've never.
It's great. It's just like if you imagine plonking a small city next to Manchester, like a very small version, like a very, very tiny version. It's basically that. And then there's sea everywhere and it's wet. So yeah. So yeah,
if you always lived there, is that like a did you guys move there like fairly recently?
I moved there when did I move there? Nearly 7 years ago now. 7 years.
Okay.
I'm from Sheffield, but I lived in London before that, before I moved to Jersey. So quite the change.
Cool.
But yeah. And I was planning to stay here for 2 years, and I was told explicitly by a recruiter that was laughable because everybody says that, and then they stay here forever. And here we are 7 years later. So yeah.
Nice.
So there you
That's good.
That's the move then. Something to bear in mind. Get out of all of that VAT and go live the good life, right?
Yeah. Gushy life.
It's like the Cayman Islands, but colder.
Yeah, basically British Cayman is the best way to sum it up. Yeah. With a bit of French, yeah.
Good. Well, I am full of envy now. But let's talk about some games, shall we? So, Deadly Headley, you said going in that you had like 800 games that you would talk about in depth that you've been playing in the last few weeks. Give us the first one.
Not quite 800, but it is a fair few. Right, the one that has had a hell of a lot of my attention for the last 24 hours has been Silent Hill 2 on Xbox, or mainly PC, but I bought it via Xbox and Play Anywhere. Started enjoying that last night. I'm loving it. I won't give any spoilers away, but I have gotten to the movie theatre. As far as I've gotten so far. I don't know how far that is in terms of like percentage of story, but a lot of the interior sections have been appropriately creepy and generally just sort of passing all the vibe checks. Like they just excellent job of building vibe. I love the sound design in it. There's just fantastic work across the board in terms of sound design. And I really like the puzzles as well. I love the way they're worded. I love the way they make your brain think. yeah, really impressed with it.
Were
I'm
you
enjoying it a lot.
already a Silent Hill fan, or is this your entry into the
No,
series?
never played one.
Mm.
Never ever played one. I think I was old enough to play it on the PS1, but I didn't. I think I would consider myself like,
Do you know what?
especially
You're
about to
still
be a
old enough to
parent,
play
I
on the
was not
PS1.
old enough to play it on the PS1. But I am now. Definitely
You still
now,
are,
with
and
my
you always will be.
big boy pants on and everything. I'm still not old enough to play it on the PS1. The remake's fine. No, I see. Here's the thing. I do like horror games, but I haven't played a lot of them in recent years. Like one of my standout favorites being Condemned, which was in the news lately for sad reasons, not good ones. Hopefully there is a good reason at some point, but we'll see. I don't know. I love that game. I have bought. I bought Chronos. Because I've heard that's brilliant from yours truly, Luke. I've got Resident Evil 4, the remake,
Oh man.
and I started it, but wasn't necessarily in the mood for it at the time. Silent Hill 2 is one that I've seen a lot of hype over. Obviously, Luke, we've talked about it quite a lot, especially
I've talked about it
in
7,000 times. So, yeah.
in context of like the more recent Silent Hill F as well, and just hearing how hyped you were on those. It was something that I'd had on my radar. I'd heard that it was going to be play anywhere, so I thought, right, we'll wait and see if it drops and how much it drops for. Picked it up for 20. I think it's like 25 quid in the UK. It's currently 50% off, which is a steal. Yeah, brilliant. Having a great time with it.
Luke, I don't know anything about Silent Hill, but if you can recall the questions that I asked you about Silent Hill the first go around, and then bounce them back, or say anything that you want to on that topic.
What do I have to say on it? I mean, it's I'm a bit jealous, to be honest, because I wish kind of like I hadn't played it myself. Obviously, when I played it when it came out on PC, because I was really looking forward to it. Although I think everybody remembers how apprehensive I was about that game before it launched because of Bloober. But they absolutely nailed it. I mean, it was. I think from memory, it's like one of my top 5 games that year, which for a remake is pretty remarkable, and I think it's a testament to the work they've done. Have you been finding the because like there's so many great elements about Silent Hill 2, both in terms of remake and original, which overlap. But the bit that is always really interesting to me is how people take on the story of the game as they're playing through it. So how have you found that so far as you've been going through it? Because it's very like kind of cryptic and like you do get a lot more stuff as you go along. But
so far, up until, and again, I don't want to spoil anything. So I will try and be really careful. I think certainly in the first few hours, it feels like you're chasing ghosts, but I quite like that. I like that there's this sense that you're almost you've just missed a pivotal moment where something important has happened and you're playing catch up and you're sort of playing the investigation role. That has sort of pivoted a little bit now as the story has started to progress. There's been the introduction of no, not going to go into it just in case. So conscious of spoilers, I don't want to spoil anything. I like the combat a lot. I know it's not related to the story, but the viscerality from the combat experience itself is really great. It just it feels really good. The sound design, like I mentioned, is just gnarly.
Visually top tier as well. Looks
Oh my
incredible.
god, yeah, it's beautiful. It's really cool. I'm still trying to really understand what the hell is going on. Obviously, that's a big part of the story. Like, they don't want to give that give that away too soon. But yeah, it's got me for sure. I want to know. I want to know what the reason for James being called to Silent Hill actually is. I want to know what is behind this letter that he's received in the opening. some of the other characters that you do meet along the way, I'm again still do not know what to make of them. Especially the one that's incredibly forward.
Oh yeah. Another one. Yeah. It's interesting.
Relax, girl. Come on.
Yeah, it's always interesting because everything. What I really love about Silent Hill, I mean, generally, but particularly too, is everybody you meet is like in this almost like kind of fugue dream state. It's all very like weird. Like the atmosphere is very strange, and like it's all like there's this. I won't spoil anything because I think it's so fun. Like it's so important that people don't get spoiled on the story, even though it's obviously an old game now. But finding out like about obviously James and all of the characters in that is so interesting to me, and how it's revealed in the story is so interesting. So yeah, you'll definitely have to tell me what you think as you go, because there are moments where you're like, okay, I could get it, you know what I mean, like there are reveals that you're like, okay, I get what's going on, but yeah, it's so interesting.
Yeah, I'll keep you posted on that one as well. It's
definitely.
Yeah, it's been really good.
Good. So I know what you've got to talk about, Deadly Headley, or I know roughly how many games. Luke, how many have you got to talk to us about this week, just so I can balance the flow of it?
I think I've got like three proper.
Do you know?
I've got like three games, but I've got like a bunch of retro stuff as well, which I'm kind of.
Okay, that's fine. That's good. That's easy. We can bounce between you. Like we can just take it in turns. Then it all works out beautifully well. I just put my feet up and relax. Luke, tell me what you've been up to.
So, which one to do first? I think so. I finished Ghost of Yotai now. So I finished that last week.
Nice.
I think I put about, I want to say about 41 hours into it overall. Wrapped it up, and just I mean, my feelings on it haven't really changed from about sort of 20 hours in, which is that I really, really enjoyed it. I think it's an excellent game. It, you know, the way it follows up on Tsushima, I think it's really cool. And it's kind of an evolution of pretty much every element of that. I think the only area it's maybe slightly weaker in is narrative beats. I don't think they're as gripping as they were in Tsushima, but kind of distinct from character, because I think the characters in this game are much more fleshed out and interesting and enjoyable to be around. But everything else apart from that is pretty much superior to Tsushima. And I think in any other year, this might, you know, probably would have been like and we'll get to it, like a Game Award nom. But the year has been so strong that there are so many games that you could anybody could put it above it, and I don't mean that in a negative way to the game. I just mean that's the strength of the year, I think. So but I loved it, really enjoyed it. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to mop up a few of the more interesting side quests. I'm not going to do everything, but I do want to go back and do some of the bigger kind of cool side questy stuff, and then I'll wrap it up. But I have finished it. So
you're not going to jump straight into New Game Plus?
I'm not. No, I will give it a while, and then I may do. I don't typically replay. No, the only one I've done that for recently was, as we discussed, Silent Hill F. But that's kind of mandatory. You've kind of got to do that with Silent Hill F, because you don't get the full context of the story unless you do it. So, which, by the way, really annoyingly, they just released a patch for that speeds that process up tremendously. So now you can actually go. You can go and you can get like everything really quickly, because they're like, yeah, you can skip this beat, you can skip that. You know, the dog's body over here, I had to like do it from fresh, like a full second run. Yeah, I had to put the work in to do a full run.
Do you think it's an improvement to cut that out, or was that like the way it's meant to be played?
No, I think it's an improvement to cut that out, because I think there are some things that you just like when you're replaying that game, you know, the way that they deliver new story, like, or more context, is that through cutscenes and then bits of things in the world and letters and all that sort of Silent Hill-y stuff. So that's the stuff you really want to get to understand, to see the difference, right? And then there's some bits that are completely static, you know, and that are the same, and they tend to be like combat sloggy bits, and it's like it's not a good enough combat game to justify going for it. Like those are the bits you're just like, oh man, I wish I could just get through this a lot quicker, but you can't, because you can't get overpowered in Silent Hill F, right? Because it's Silent Hill.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think that. But anyway, but Yotai, I may go back to New Game Plus. Depends. There's a lot. I've got a lot to play. So.
Mm-hmm. And now that you have finished it, comparison to Tsushima, is it better or worse?
It's better. It's a better game in, as I say, every other way except for the narrative. The kind of momentum of Tsushima is better.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a bit more gripping. I think part of that is probably just because Yotai, the story of Yotai is fairly standard. Like it weaves and stuff, but it's a revenge story.
Mm-hmm.
And we've played and seen a lot of those. So Tsushima is different just because it's got the obviously not real some real historical context, but just the kind of Jin's journey is just a bit more interesting. But Atsu is a far more interesting character, I think.
And would you like to see more from the IP, or is it time to put that one to bed and revisit Infamous or something?
No, I'd take another one for sure. I don't think I'd want more than that. Not because I just like Sucker Punch is so talented, and the last thing you want to see is a studio just making a game in that a single franchise for forever and ever, particularly like some of Sony's biggest studios. So I think there's so much room that they have in the nature of the game that the worlds that they're building in the Ghost series, that they could you could go to any Japanese historic period and do something really cool. So I think I'd definitely take another, but after that, I think go on to something else.
Fair. Quick shout out there, Gamsy's just gifted 5 subs in there. Some of you know Gamsy, he used to be on this podcast and on a different one on this channel. It looks like he's renamed, prepped and primed and ready to do some content on his own channel. So if you are interested in hearing what he has to say, do follow that name through. I think you'll get to his channel and you can probably subscribe there. So thank you for that. And we will loop back to Deadly Headley for game number 2.
Oh, I got 2 more. The first one, because I think I think Luke, you have also been playing the other one. It's Egging On. I don't know if you guys have tried that yet. I highly recommend it. It is surprisingly difficult and rage-inducing for sure. But it's really, really fun. It is a physics-based puzzle game. You play as an egg. You can roll in any direction and you can jump. The jumping mechanic itself is quite interesting because if you jump using the sharper like tip of the egg, you jump a little bit higher, so you have got some control over the height of your jump. There are 2 modes out of the box. This is available on Game Pass, by the way. I assume it's Ultimate. It might be Premium as well, but I'm not 100%. Basically, you are tasked with just climbing this barn, which then sort of goes up and up and up, and levels get weirder and weirder. If you fall, obviously your egg cracks, and you sort of like spawn a new one. 2 modes, like I was going to say, when you start the game, and you can play both of them right off the bat as well, so I don't feel like you need to play the harder one. The default sort of vanilla mode is there are no checkpoints. If you fall and you fall all the way to the bottom, you're starting again, and it's hard. Like the puzzles are designed for you to just make them at certain points.
But you did it first time, right? No problems. All the way to the top.
No, I played the checkpointed mode, which is the the much more user-friendly one. Apparently, if you are really, really good, you can clear the entire game in an hour. But I'm not that good. I've gotten to I think it's the 3rd area now. I've progressed pretty well, but yeah, I've still got a fair bit to go. But I'm enjoying that a lot, and I'd highly recommend it. I think it's one of those sort of indie darlings that probably won't get a huge amount of traffic, but again, it being on Game Pass massively helps with its exposure. It's also only a tenner at the moment on Xbox and Play Anywhere as well, so you get obviously console and PC versions included in that. Yeah, I'd recommend that a lot. I think it's really fun.
Fair, Luke. Do you eat eggs?
Do I eat eggs? I'm partial to an egg.
Would you like to play a game as one?
Why not? Why not?
I
You've just been told about the opportunity. It's right there.
I think it would be a really good, it's a really good portable game, I think.
Yeah, like kind of palate cleanser type thing as well, by the looks of it. That you could,
definitely.
Into.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah.
And do you find, Deadly Headley, when you're playing it, are there moments where you're enjoying it, but there are moments where you actually feel frustrated?
Oh my god!
Is this how you got your abdominal pain?
What?
Oh.
What makes it so much worse is there's this dude. I think he's French. Might not be French. He might be Swedish. Basically, there's a guy trying to egg you on, for want of a better phrase. He could be a little bit patronizing. That's quite frustrating. It's a good laugh. I think if you don't mind failing at a game and having to retry, if you like that sort of Dark Souls flavored grind of this is not going to kind of treat you with kid gloves, it's gonna push you and it's gonna challenge you, and there will be sort of moments where you've spent the best part of an hour trying to navigate this one puzzle, just can't get right. But when you actually do, that feeling of satisfaction, especially if you're playing the checkpointed mode, and you do hit those checkpoints and you're sort of making kind of slow but steady progress, it's a very satisfying game. Rage inducing for sure, 100%.
Excellent. And that was excellent. I'm not going into the stupid egg puns that I hate so much. Luke, let's go on to your next one before that kicks off.
Oh, before you egg pun anymore.
Before anybody joins in, yeah.
That's probably best.
You really scramble things.
No.
No, I wasn't quick enough. Damn it. So myself and my wife have been playing and finished Dispatch.
Oh, nice.
So I've finished that today. So I bought that a couple of weeks ago, and I was determined that I wasn't going to play it until I'd finished at least Yotai. So I did finish Yotai, and then I was like, okay, it's Dispatch time. And I knew it wouldn't take super long to finish, right? It's not like a super long thing, but we both loved it. It's so much fun. It's very funny, and it's just a very engaging story. For anybody who's not seen it or not heard about it, it's basically an old style Telltale game. And I think Ad Hoc Studio, who made it, are made up of a lot of Telltale sort of past employees effectively. So it's less interactive than some of the old Telltale games, which I know sounds a bit weird, but the nature, you're never controlling a character per se. You're never walking or doing anything like that with a character. Your interaction with the game comes down to effectively some QTEs, dialogue choices. There's a lot of big choice and consequence stuff, as you'd imagine. And then there's kind of the core gameplay, I would call it, quote unquote, which is, you're effectively on a computer in the game dispatching superheroes to call outs, right? To 999 or 911 calls. And you've got to kind of there's this real-time management of moving the right heroes to the right place and using the right combinations, and then they all have their own kind of stats, and you can sort of level that and their own little abilities and stuff. So that's like the core gameplay, and that's into like around that is big cutscene stuff. So that's kind of how it works. But it's just the games like this are just live or die on their story, and if the characters are interesting enough, and I just think this is just terrific. It's some of the best storytelling that I've seen this year. And the lead character is voiced by Aaron Paul of Breaking Bad fame. And he's fantastic. I think this is his first ever video game role. And it's got like this ridiculous list of like, well-known VA in gaming. So Laura Bailey and Travis Willingham, Matthew Mercer, like everybody you'd expect to be in there. No Troy Baker though. No Troy Baker. But yeah, it's awesome. I think it probably took us maybe 4 or 5 hours. I think maybe less. There's 8 episodes. It's episodic.
Yeah.
Do your choices make it branch enough that it'll be worth a different playthrough, or is it
100%? Yeah. Yeah, you can get pretty divergent like things that happen in the game. So yeah, my wife's gone back and started choosing different stuff now to see what happens basically. So yeah, so I'd really recommend, like, this is such a good like palate cleanser game anyway, from something that's like bigger scope. And it's just super engaging. Art style is fantastic as well. So yeah, I'd really recommend it.
I haven't looked. Is it pretty well priced on?
Yeah,
on
I think
PS5 and Steam, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 20 quid, I think.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so it's I'm pretty sure it's 20 quid ish. But yeah, it's great. I kind of wanted to wait as well for everything to come out because they were releasing it weekly, which I actually really like for games like this, because the nature of it is more just interactive TV show than game. But it just so happened by the time it took me so long to finish Yotai that when I finished it, everything was out. So I was like, oh great, it's like really good for me to jump into it now. So yeah, it's fantastic. It's really, really good.
Nice.
No, Gaz, I don't play Arc Raiders. It's not caught me at all. So no, I don't care about the PvP in it.
Definitely don't play it with Gaz.
I can't wait to play Arc Raiders with Gaz. I'm so excited.
In fact, probably it'd be fine to play it with him, but not in the same server as him. I think is the problem. So
I think that's a fair assessment.
Yeah.
Dispatch is higher on my list. I own Arc Raiders, but I just can't bring myself to log on to it. I tried it a couple of times. I was just like, why am I doing this? I don't know. But that's a me problem. Everybody else seems to love it. So, Deadly Headley.
So my last one was Arc Raiders actually, but there's one more that I've started. I'm going in with the intention of it's going to be a modded save, and it's going to be a game that I can just mess about with, which is Hogwarts Legacy. I started that on PC, played through the intro. Like, I've already played it and finished it on PS5, but I have seen that the modding, the modded content for that is pretty good. So yeah, gonna just have some fun with that one. But I haven't really like gone too far into it.
Why? Like, why do you want a modded save file? What is it that you're hoping to get out of the game?
Shits and gigs. Just sort of trying to just play it a little bit differently. It also gives me the opportunity to play that game with a different house, slightly different decisions. But although one of my major criticisms of Hogwarts Legacy was that it didn't really feel like your choices were that consequential. But it's a lovely game. It's a really nice world, and it's a game I've been meaning to get back into again for a little while. I bought it on Steam about 6 months ago, I think, and it's just sort of, it sat there downloaded on my PC for ages, and I thought, yeah, we'll jump in. There's a visual overhaul mod that I want to try. There's some really cool cosmetic mods that are built into the mod platform that is now on Hogwarts Legacy. Some weird skins, lots of like.
Wait. Just rewind a second. So does Hogwarts Legacy actually have like a publisher-supported mod platform?
Yes, yeah. It's actually got like a proper modded platform. There's still the visual overhaul mod that I want to use is on Nexus mods, and I need to actually look into how I get that working. But yeah, it's also got its own modded platform. One thing that I am a little bit wary of, and if you guys have experience with this as well, that'd be really helpful. How am I inviting complications in by using a graphics overhaul from Nexus and then stuff from Hogwarts Legacy as well?
Inevitably, yes, you are inviting some complication, but it's not something to be scared of. Have at it, and if it doesn't work, then remove. So yeah, do it. Have some fun.
Yeah, I haven't really modded anything on PC yet, to be honest.
I have a Skyrim. Okay, Skyrim being Skyrim is already like something of a disaster, but I got a mod pack on Skyrim, lazy mode, that had 1,790 odd mods. As for Skyrim VR, it's a lot of mods. It was a big download, right? I think the mod pack is about 300 gig, so much bigger than the game. Went in there and I'm not going to say what happened straight away, but it was a bit disconcerting. But then when I actually, because it was a mod pack and it doesn't necessarily wake you up on the famous cart, it wakes you up in a jail cell and gives you some choices of like what kind of intro experience you want. And I was like, I want to see the default one. I'm going for the old you wake up on a cart thing. So I did. Went into that. In VR, sitting on my cart as you do, and the horse tried to climb a mountain and got stuck. 1,792 mods, and I got stuck in the intro sequence of Skyrim with a horse trying to climb vertically up a mountain. So you can invite some complications. You can break things that you'd expect to work.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Do I recommend it? Yes.
Yeah. I am going to have some fun with it. I've also, and I wasn't going to mod this save, but again, I'd like to look into doing it because I think it would be a laugh. I have started playing, again, just the intro Spider-Man Remastered on PC as well. It's another one I've also finished on PS5. Loved it enough to want to double dip on it. So yeah, pick that up as well. But the one that I've actually put more time into is Arc Raiders. That is my official sort of third game that I've been playing. Which
so you sell me on Arc Raiders because everybody loves Arc Raiders and I don't get it. What is it that keeps you going back to it?
If there's one thing that every other multiplayer game fails on doing, even though nobody asked it to, is to deliver the most compelling social experiment of all time. That's Arc Raiders in a nutshell. I've never seen a game where it has taken the community by such storm in that you can be like Gaz. You could be like, fuck the rest of the world, fuck everybody here. I'm gonna kill everybody, take all of their stuff, and I'm gonna leave whatever the cost. You can genuinely be that person that helps other people find the stuff that they're looking for, and I've done both. I've played on both roles. I think the only thing that I haven't done is directly throw somebody else under the bus. But honestly, I sort of want to put that down to not having as much time to play on Arc Raiders this week as I would have liked, because I've been working on locking a job down, which, fingers crossed, actually pans out, because I'd love to see that. Hello, Fonz, by the way, and Gaz. I think that Arc Raiders is, if you like multiplayer experiences that do cause stress, do sort of put you under pressure, but you know that is part of the experience, a bit like a battle royale. I think you'll like it. If you really don't like stuff like that and you prefer something that is more arena based or round based or less unpredictable, I guess. Like I don't really think that many multiplayer games are that predictable, but Arc has this extra level of just, it's human driven rather than experience driven, I think. But obviously the overall experience and environment that Arc delivers in itself is very impressive. How much time have you Would you say you've sort of put in
very, very little? And the problem that I've got with it is the stuff that people say is best about this game all seems to be the emergent gameplay with other people. And I only played it in threes, and I don't think any of that naturally takes place if you're playing in threes, because everyone's instinct is to kill everybody else when you're in a full team. So I think you actually conversely, you lose the essence of the game by playing it with friends, despite playing it with friends being the best way to play things. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think I agree with you in that. I think that if you are in a trio, the likelihood is you don't need to necessarily you don't need to depend on somebody else to try and survive, which I think is a bad idea in solos anyway. Though I did have one really lovely game where I actually met someone that helped me get a bunch of stuff. I helped them get a bunch of stuff, and we sort of both came away from that experience happy. I think you are more likely to just encounter that regular old just gunfights breaking out versus solos, because I think there is certainly more tension in solos. I think yeah, I don't know. It's a tricky, because actually most of my games have been solos. Like a lot of my time on Arc Raiders has been solo. And I actually really like playing with other people on it as well. There are definitely some really frustrating instances where in the same game, I've seen one other player, they have sort of shouted "Don't shoot," and I've gone, "Fuck it, fine, I'll leave you alone if you leave me alone." And then I've seen other people where I've not communicated to them, I'm going to leave them alone, but I will very quickly walk away from them. 5 minutes later, they come and fucking hunt me down, and that's me going, "Yeah, I should have just taken the shot." Stuff like that is unpredictable, frustrating, but there is something about, I think, the rhythm and pace of Arc Raiders is it works in the game's favor, in that because games aren't very long, and because if you go in with all of your best shit and you lose it, you're going to be really frustrated. If you strategically sort of plan your loadout to go, right, I'm going to go in with some stuff I might be comfortable with losing, or it's something that you've got duplicates of, or maybe you're going in with something that looks similar to a free loadout, but you're taking a personal loadout just so that you can get a safe pocket for whatever you want. There's loads of different ways of sort of prepping for a game. I think I really like the tension of the fact that you never know what's going to happen in any game. Again, you could argue that happens in any multiplayer game, but the formula for Battlefield, the formula for COD, Halo, etc., they're all pretty familiar. The outcome of the game changes. Arc Raiders is so different in terms of its sort of level of kind of predictability. It does, for me, feel like it's the closest between a marriage of something like PUBG and The Division. Is where I'd sort of sit it. Yeah, generally, really, really happy with it.
So I think that's the other thing that I did wrong, is I did not get at all invested in the loot system at all. So there were no stakes for me. I didn't really understand what I was picking up or why, or particularly care. And I think that's quite important for giving the game its edge, to actually care about what's in your pockets. Luke, a couple of weeks ago when the game came out, you were quite into it for a little bit. Are you still playing it at all, or is it not there anymore?
I haven't played. I didn't play it last week, I don't think, but that's just because I was occupied with finishing other stuff. But I was thinking about going back to it tomorrow, actually, or maybe later tonight. So yeah, I still really, really enjoy it. And I'm not a multiplayer guy at all, but there's something about the world and those maps and the kind of spirit of the game that's just very interesting to me, and it's very enjoyable. And yeah, the tension of it is quite unlike anything I've ever played, really. So and whether you find that good or not is, I think, just personal preference, but I really, really enjoy that because it just gives a bit of extra meaning to everything that you're doing, particularly, as Deadly said, if you're going out with a pretty good loadout, and then that's all at risk, so yeah, I'm still enjoying it a lot.
Good. I should go back to it at some point.
Of extracting success.
Yeah, it's good.
Just hit every time. As it's
not every time, because I did extract twice, and I was like, got a mixtape.
They're worth a lot.
It's worth a lot of money.
What do I want money for?
I think
what I mean. This is the way I engage with games, though. They tell me things that are important, and I don't particularly absorb it necessarily. So I'm just along for the ride, and then I don't understand what's happening. So a lot of it is lost on me for that reason. I think it's my own fault. Luke,
me.
What else you got?
Well, I can either talk about the retro stuff, or I can talk about the other modern game I'm playing. So which one do you want? You can have both, but which one do you want right now?
Let's do the other modern one first, and then you can give us a retro catch up, and then we'll get topics in.
Yeah, cool. So the modern one I picked up the other day, and this is like I'm going to spend a lot of time in this game, and it's probably one that very few people have heard of, and it's called Sectori.
I saw you mention that on the socials.
Yeah, it's just launched on PC. I think it's only on PC at the minute, but I could be wrong. And basically, it is a top-down arcade shmup. Effectively, that's what it is. But it is made. It was made by an ex-Housemarque dev, and it is in the vein of like Super Stardust, Resogun, like any of these classic Housemarque shmups. This single guy has gone out and just made one of his own, and it is terrific. It is so fun. It's very much like that. Okay, I'm gonna have one more run at this, because it's so dopamine hitting, particularly if you like this style of game. Also, if you like Geometry Wars, right? That kind of style. Yeah. So it is awesome. Visually, just super clean and interesting. Obviously, there's a lot that's going on at screen. Like it is a punishing game. It requires like you to pay attention a lot. There's like big yeah, you're out. Big bosses. The music, I think I described it on like, just imagine the music is, imagine that scene from the first Blade in the nightclub at the start. If the whole game was just that music all the time, just constant techno, it's really, really good. And obviously that changes as the stage develops as well. So yeah, I just absolutely love it. It's also a perfect handheld game. So on Steam Deck OLED, for example, it runs locked 90 FPS and maybe like one or two tiny dips. I think on the Legion Go 2, I got a locked 144 with a couple of dips down to about 100, like 130 or something like that.
Very good work.
So it's just awesome. It's just awesome.
Have,
I really would.
Like a Geometry Wars social leaderboard thing?
I don't know, actually. I've not looked. It's got like a campaign that you progress through, and you can unlock extra difficulties. But I've just been doing kind of the normal run to run and trying to get past the first boss, because it's really hard. And like the first boss, it's like slightly roguelite in a way, because the first boss is always like generated from a list. So you could have, you never know which is the first one you're going to get. And you can kind of, when you go on the field, it's a bit, this mechanic is a bit Vampire Survivor-y, I would say. So when you go on the field and you're shooting everything, they drop like what is effectively, like in Vampire Survivors, they drop the little currency that you pick up. So it's similar to that. And as you get one, like when you fill up the bar, rather than, pick these three things, a random area will spawn that will stay on the map for maybe 10 seconds. If you go to that, you'll collect sort of another currency, which basically on the left side of your screen, the more you collect, the better power up you can choose. So like the first one, if you collect one of these things, you can choose to up your speed by 1. But then as you go up, you can choose to, for example, increase your blaster capacity, or like the amount of blasters that are coming out. And in the middle, it's like increase the amount of shields you have. So you're kind of managing this as you're going along in a Vampire Survivors type way. Nothing as game changing as Vampire Survivors, but like just kind of steadily increasing your ability on the field. And then eventually you can get bigger upgrades where you can swap out, I think they call them decks. So you have like, you could select on the left side of that power up list, I was saying you could kind of bring in stuff and put out stuff, so you can kind of mix it up as you go along.
You say
So
eventually, is that like eventually within the span of a single run, or is this meta progression?
Of a single run. I haven't seen any meta progression at the minute. It's just all single run stuff. So it's a tough game. It's classic top down arcade shmup stuff, but it's brilliant. And it's £12 on Steam. Like you could get hundreds of hours from this just from the enjoyment of playing it. So it's great.
Fair. Deadly Headley, do you have anything on that one?
Other than the fact that I really enjoyed Geometry Wars back in the day. No, I think I like Geometry Wars. I liked Vampire Survivors. It looks like a lot of fun. It definitely looks like the type of game I'd enjoy to play on a handheld, as Luke has said. The performance on that is really great as well. So yeah, I'll add it to my wish list for sure. And if I pick up an Ally X at some point, then yeah, I'll get that on there.
Fair. Luke, let's give us that little this retro update. So you've got your handheld device. I've forgotten what it's called. You can show it to people again and tell us what's new or old, as it were.
What's old is new. Now that I have it. So yeah, I've got it here actually. Talk
us through this, because I caught up on last week's show. But yeah, just sort of refresh like exactly what this is for us.
Yeah, sure. So it's the AYN Thor, and I'll show it. I'll try and get you a bit closer to it here so you can see. So it's an Android handheld that has 2 OLED screens. Obviously, as you can see, it's 3DS configuration effectively, top screen, bottom screen. And yeah, it's a very small, really good-looking dual OLED, powerful Android handheld. So it's ideal for emulation, effectively.
Nice.
Which is what I bought it for. And Android emulation has come on pretty leaps and bounds, I would say, the last couple of years in particular. So I've loaded this thing up and I've just been having an absolute blast. First of all, the screens are just so good. Like it's so amazing to see like a lot of these older games on this kind of screen. The top screen is 6-inch 1080p 120 hertz AMOLED, and the bottom one is kind of it's a weird aspect ratio, but it's I think it's also 1080p, but it's 60 hertz. And I've been emulating tons and tons and tons of stuff, and just kind of it's been really fun just bouncing between different stuff that I played a lot before, but I haven't been to for ages. And because it's so powerful, the great thing about it is that, you know, if you get like a PS2 or a GameCube game, you can kind of you can adjust the internal resolution to like 4, 5, 6 times. So you can get it to be native 1080p effectively, or higher. Actually, this can go higher, although you won't get much benefit on the screen. So yeah, at the minute, the game I'm running through, like I've been bouncing around and I'm like, no, I want to stick to like something, like let's have one like particular thing. So at the minute, and Fonz, you are right, this is Resident Evil 0 on the GameCube that I'm running at the moment. So I'm running it at 1080p. Have you played that game? It's not RE6. Yes. You have played that game.
I have played that game.
The dual character mechanic is not the best. I'd really love 0, but I don't like that element of it too much. But yes, I've been playing that on it, and I'm just having a blast, just an absolute blast. I've got that on the go. I've kind of got pretty much every RE on there except for 5 and 6 and any of the modern, the more modern ones than that.
Come on now, get 6.
I'm not getting 6. It's not happening. So yeah, I've just been like super enjoying it, and the battery life in particular is excellent. So you can kind of really have some.
What's your kind of
enjoyable sessions.
Success rate on emulation? Have you come across many that just like don't pan out, or have you managed to play pretty much everything you've tried to?
I've not come across anything that flat out does not work. I'd say the success rate in terms of does it run well, and can you enhance the emulation, and those two combined is like 90%. So pretty much everything that I've played, bar a couple of things, are like perfect, I would say, or close to perfect. There's been a couple of strange games that I've played on it. So I've got Sly Cooper 2 and 3, and they just shit the bed for some reason on when you emulate them. Like they really struggle to run at original game speed. So they like slow motion in parts, and then other parts it's fine. So that's a bit weird. And also I was playing Jack Free, right, from the PS2, which is awesome game. And like the intro is terrible, but then once you get to the gameplay, it's absolutely golden. Like it's fine. So there's kind of moments like that, but by and large, like I've not found anything that just like flat out refuses to run, or that you can't get running to, you know, like a good level, let's say. So yeah, just very impressed. Oh, in fact, there is one. Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon on the 3DS. That does not want to play. Don't know why. Just doesn't want to play. That's the only one I found.
Okay, that's a pretty good rate though, because when I was doing the Android emulation on my phone a year or so back, it was not near as successful as that, which is why I asked. But good to know you're having a wonderful time with your little pocket fake 3DS thing. I'm quite impressed by it, because there's a lot of 3DS games that I would like to have a go at.
There you go. There's Ocarina of Time on the 3DS.
Wow.
With the
bullet screens as well. It's nice.
Yeah, it's my absolute favorite thing to play on here is, well, everything, but in particular, it's anything that's sprite work, because it's just like, it just gives a whole new kind of dimension to those games. And it like classic Contra games and stuff like that, you know, particularly where you have like, those games tend not to have borders. So obviously if it's just black, it just fades into the rest of the OLED screen. So it's like, it's just kind of been placed in the middle. It's just, it's terrific. It's awesome.
Yeah. Nice. Let's move to our kind of topics that we got for today, shall we? Or is there another game? Did I miss one, Deadly Headley? Or was that in the lot?
No, I think you've had.
Perfect.
Yeah, no, that's the
in
lot.
that case, Deadly Headley, tell us what you thought. Pick out some highlights from the Xbox Partner Showcase.
Ooh. Honestly, the biggest one for me was the fact that 007 First Light is Play Anywhere. I didn't expect
Why
that.
do you care about Play Anywhere so much? Because that's the 7th time you've mentioned it. I'm not actually counting, but it's approximately.
I've seen a lot of sort of recent discourse about sort of why excited about Play Anywhere, why get excited about Play Anywhere when like something like Steam already does this. I think it largely depends on what you use and what you still use. Me being very, very new to PC, a lot of my library isn't there. I've built my library on Steam pretty quickly, but I still use Xbox as a platform. I still use it as a console downstairs because I don't have a way of playing games on Steam downstairs. Could entertain the idea of a Steam machine. That actually looks really, really cool. But again, I think because of the fact that I still have a library on Xbox, the fact that I still do use that console platform downstairs as well, more interested in Xbox's next generation offering than what the Steam machine offers for me, the individual. But I think the Steam machine on its own merit is actually a pretty sort of exciting move. I was thinking about this earlier actually, because I think Play Anywhere right now, if you're an Xbox user and you still genuinely use your Xbox Series console and you use a PC in a different part of your house, like me, I think it's really great being able to sort of bounce between the two platforms with very little friction. Next generation, I can see Xbox Play Anywhere still being a thing because it's still going to have to cater to that audience that hasn't bought into newer hardware and are still using the Series platform. Because I don't think those users are I don't think they're gonna go away. I think obviously some of them will move over to that newer hardware, but you know, if we look back at like current generations now, we've still got several million users on PS4, Xbox One generation, and I think that sort of cross-gen period and transition is just something that's kind of here for the long haul. So I think as an initiative in terms of being able to cater for players that are all experiencing different things in different ways and actually just trying to bring the sort of bring that sort of cohesiveness into the ecosystem, I think it's a really cool initiative. I like the fact that I get a console version that is um there's no tinkering with that option. If I want to literally just turn my console on and start playing a video game within minutes, if that, because the SSDs are fucking quick, I can do that quite happily. But if I want to go onto my PC, if I want to then tinker with my experience to get way more performance out of my PC that does a hell of a lot more than my Series X could even dream of, I like having those options there. So that for me is a really exciting one. I like going back to First Light. I think generally I actually quite like what IOI do. I really liked the Hitman series, so I am looking forward to this. Yeah. Someone else say something about partner preview because I just talked a lot there.
That's fair enough. So the it's kind of interesting that you didn't mention for Play Anywhere right now, and for people that are sticking on the consoles. You're right that there will be a load of people with a Series console that might want to use that feature. The paradigm kind of changes with the next console that can already play PC games, where the expectation that you can play anywhere is kind of already catered for, apart from the whole cloud kind of thing. But you have used that a little bit, haven't you? You are a bit of a cloud gamer, so I was wondering if you were gonna pipe up with that when you were talking about it.
So I think like cloud definitely still has its quirks. There are certain games that I will try and avoid on cloud, and I include things like egging on is a great example. The timing that you need behind the triggers for making those sort of precise jumps are tricky. But I wasn't very well played Arc Raiders in bed via cloud, and it was great. It felt really, really good. I had a couple games where I extracted with loot I really wanted, and I'm still getting that same level of rush and dopamine hit that I would if I was playing on my PC.
That's interesting though, because this is a very recent experience, and they've supposedly made some significant upgrades over the last month or so. Have you noticed it being substantially better than it used to be? Or?
I can't say I've noticed them, no. Okay. But then I also went through quite a large gap of not touching cloud, because actually if I was going to play upstairs, I was largely playing on my PC. But when I wasn't well and in bed the other week, yeah, I don't have a handheld, so yeah, we're gonna play by cloud. I think those options are brilliant. Cloud is quite an interesting one. I'm gonna go on a bit of a weird tangent here, but it genuinely something that I did not expect to hear about, and this was we're probably going almost a year ago now, give or take. Maybe not quite that far. But interestingly, it got brought up when it got brought it got brought up with Phil Spencer when Xbox Era did their last interview with them. I can't remember when exactly it was, but the British radio broadcaster James O'Brien has talked about playing Indiana Jones via cloud, and that was how he enjoyed it. He had a PS5, didn't buy an Xbox console. He found that his new smart TV had Xbox Cloud capability, and he thought, yeah, okay, cool, we'll check that out. Finished Indiana Jones and sung it to its high praises on the radio, playing the entire thing by cloud. I think cloud is definitely not for everybody. I think the more hardcore a gamer you are, the less likely cloud is for you. But I think that cloud seems to be growing quite well for Xbox, and that's purely based on the noises that they've said, because they don't release numbers. Honestly, I find numbers in gaming really fucking boring. But they seem happy with how that's growing. I think that the paradigm about where Play Anywhere goes post next gen is a really interesting one. I think the way that is going to continue working is via people still using series hardware. And again, numbers from Microsoft are really the only thing that can properly paint that story. It's a weird one because you're right. Anything that Play Anywhere offers a user on the PC platform specifically, Steam is also doing. The difference is that sort of that console experience and the cohesion between both. It does make me wonder if there is still going to be some sort of console element to Microsoft's next generation at all. If they go, fuck it, we'll release a normal priced console box that is sort of similar in functionality in terms of what the PS6 is doing, and then we've got this sort of flagship machine where we go, it can do all the console-y stuff, but fuck it, it's also a PC if you want it to be. It would be really interesting to see like how that hardware is actually moved forward and how that then takes a bit of a reverse look at some of the initiatives. And I include things like playing online, paying to play online, things like Game Pass Ultimate, because is Game Pass Ultimate really necessary if your next box is essentially a PC? The likelihood is, because corporations are evil, is that it would probably just bin off something like PC Game Pass and go, fuck it, you're all on Ultimate now, you're all paying for work. Which isn't going to go down well with PC players, obviously. Strange ones. Strange questions around Xbox's larger sort of forward push, for sure.
Yeah, and Play Anywhere was front and center of the partner showcase. It was right at the literally as it opened up. It's like all of these titles are Play Anywhere, and they said it in all of the run up on their social media things. Like these are all Play Anywhere games, and it's like it's a nice, easy to understand message for people. I get that. Like, yeah, I can play this wherever I want. That works for me. For me personally, and I don't give a shit about it whatsoever. Like, I never want to play a game in more than one place, really. And it isn't to say that it's a negative thing. It's obviously not. Like, there might be some situation where I do use it and it is convenient, but it's also not that interesting to have it pushed in my face every 5 minutes, because it's just like, whatever.
Again, I think it does sort of largely depend on the platform that you use the most out of everything that you play on. So, like, Luke, we've talked before about Xbox's next console, obviously, or Xbox's next machine, however that manifests itself. Same with the Steam machine as well. But because of your living room setup is essentially just a powerful PC plugged into your TV and everything sort of set up for as close to big picture mode as possible, right? Yeah. Steam's already doing all of those things for you. But again, if Steam is already your way of playing in the living room, then yeah, it's Play Anywhere doesn't really mean much to you. If Xbox and PlayStation are still your ways of playing in the living room, like they are for me, PlayStation doing the equivalent of Play Anywhere is actually something I really want to see, because that actually just brings all my libraries even closer together.
Okay, fair. Luke, partner showcase. Pick out as many games as you want to talk about, really.
Oh yeah, I was pleasantly surprised by this one. I went in with like zero expectations, and then I got about halfway through and I was like, this is quite good. I was quite surprised. So yeah, I don't know what's pick, really. Maybe the first game, I thought that was pretty interesting, which was Armistice. Which I think is also coming to Game Pass. I know most of the games here were coming to Game Pass as well, not all of them, but I think
it's about half. I think it's everything is Play Anywhere. About half of it is coming to Game Pass.
Yeah, so I think Armistice is one of those, and this was. I mean, instantly I was just like, this just looks like they looked at Returnal and went, we want to do that as well, basically. So let's make something that's like Returnal, which I'm always going to be into. Except it's kind of got this like weird. Sort of medieval / futuristic hybrid thing going on in terms of the main character and the supporting cast. So a little derivative of Returnal, but I don't say that in a overtly bad sense.
I think you're being a bit generous to it there, but just watching the trailer now.
Yeah, no, but I mean, straight away I was like, they want to make Returnal, but nobody really has made something like this. So is it really like, is it that derivative? If like this is the first thing I've seen that reminds me of Returnal. So,
but okay, to break that down though, because like, why does this remind you of Returnal? Because this isn't like bullet hell as such. This is all quite. It's
not bullet hell, and that's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing that kind of spikes me away from it just being like a Returnal clone. Like apart from the art style being different, and all that stuff, right? The thing that it looks like the perspective of that game and the way that the character moves across the environment and the amount of enemies and all that stuff. All of that it's very Returnal coded. Like it's clearly like an inspiration to them, which is again not a bad thing. So, it just looks cool. Looks cool. Kind of reminded me of if anybody remembered, and it's a completely different game, but Dante's Inferno way back in the day. Like it's got that kind of super kind of gothic, twisted architectural art direction to it. So it's cool. I really like the look of that.
But I think a lot depends on how that one feels in the hands. Because I look at it and I don't see Returnal as much as you do. But obviously, you do have the kind of it's the dash mechanic that looks most familiar from it that you see there. I reckon
some of the melee stuff as well.
Yeah,
like the swipe.
Yeah, I think you could very much go either way on that one, but we'll see. We'll see. I guess you could say that about any game, really, couldn't you?
Yeah, it'll depend on how it plays, as you say. It was a bit framey in the trailer, but I'll reserve judgment till it actually launches, obviously.
All right, give me another.
I thought the Hitman collab was really funny.
Oh no!
Yeah,
I thought that was a good idea. So Slim Eminem / Slim Shady is going to be an elusive target in Hitman, the world of Hitman. I think that's quite a fun collab. I like that a lot. Yeah.
I've not got anything that I can add to that. Like I was just watching that, like, what the fuck's happening right now? So. Do you play Hitman?
Honestly, not as much as I should, and I do like the fact that they keep on adding new content to it. I don't. There's too much to play, and I don't like go out of my way to keep up with it. But I like Hitman a lot. I really enjoy like the sandbox nature to it. And stuff like this, it does make me want to jump back in. Again, it just sort of... I can't say I'm cash rich like Luke, but I'm definitely time poor like Luke. So.
Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, Luke. Is that a thing you're into? Do you play Hitman in general? Are you going to get that little bit of content?
No. I mean, I did play I didn't play much of the last Hitman, actually. I played a bit. I played a lot of the Hitman games before that, but not this one. But yeah, I mean, I don't think I'll play this, but I do fully appreciate and commend how much content they've put into this over the years. It's really, really impressive.
I do. I can't imagine that will have been a cheap collaboration either, I'm sure.
Yeah, probably not. But they just did that Bond collaboration as well, didn't they? Casino Royale, for Mads Mikkelsen's character in that. So they have prior for this sort of stuff. So yeah, clearly it works for them, and they must. I'm sure they made loads of money from it now, but.
I mean, let's move on from that. I've got nothing I can add on that. It's a bit weird. Maybe it'll be fun. Maybe I don't think it's a universe you can break particularly. So interesting to see it still going. For me, and I mean, it's just that there about the VR one. They updated it very recently. I mean, so it might actually be good now. They've brought all of the PSVR 2 stuff over to the PC VR version. So maybe I'll give it a go over there, but maybe I won't. I don't know. Luke, give me another tasty game from the partner showcase. Halfway through, you're sitting there, you're thinking, wow, this is better than I expected. What was the game that was playing at that moment in time?
What was playing then? I think it was the game that Shadow dropped, which was Total Chaos. which is I booted it up very briefly the other day, but I haven't actually probably played it yet. But that is a survival horror game, which first-person survival horror, looks really, really cool. It's by the creator of a game I have played, and that game was called Turbo Overkill, which was like an old school FPS. Except this is like just wildly different. This is like high budget, by comparison. And I think this is based on. This is effectively a remake or a repackage of a mod for Doom 2 that someone released many, 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 many years ago that was really good. I think that's right. Which took me by surprise because I remember the mod. But yeah, obviously just made it into this like high budget survival horror. So I'm really looking forward to checking this out. The only thing that turned me off of the game when I turned it on is the first thing I always do on PC gamer, obviously, is go to the options menu. And at least on the Game Pass version, there was no option for any upscaler. So you could only use basically FXAA, native, or TAA because it's a UE5 game. So I was like, oh, and then I turned it off and said, okay, I'll come back to it another time. So
because your PC wouldn't be able to run it.
Yeah, because it just melt or something. So that was the only thing that put me off. So I don't think it has HDR either, which is a bit of a sting. But I can get around that. That's fine. But yeah, it looks cool. I'm looking forward to checking this out.
Deadly Headley, you're on a little horror kick at the moment. Are you going to give that one a go?
This looks cool. Yeah, I was thinking this actually. It does look really, really cool. I have too many other things sort of like that I'm already chuckling, but yeah, it's piqued my interest for sure.
Is this did this have a VR element as well, or is there another game in the showcase?
I don't know. They wouldn't mention it in the Xbox showcase if it did, would they? They'd keep it very secret.
I thought I saw. Maybe I'll have a look. Could be wrong.
Yeah. I'm interested if it does, though, of course. So let's just throw some games at me. Throw whatever games you want to talk about, and then we'll move on to the Game Awards bit.
I got two more that I'd like to talk about them, but I don't have like a huge amount to sort of say about them. I think they've caught my eye. One being Reanimal. I quite liked Little Nightmares. It's another co-op horror game as well. That looks really cool. It's from the creators of Little Nightmares, so if that's up your street, like it's not on Game Pass, but it's coming out February 2026 on console, cloud, and PC.
I have a weird situation on YouTube right now, which I'm going to bring up just because to prove that I'm not mad. It says that it's playing the trailer for Reanimal, but it is definitely playing the trailer that we just watched for that Chaos game. It's very confusing. I was looking at it like, wow, Reanimal looks a lot like that last one that we had.
Smooth.
It's just broken. That's fine. You carry on, YouTube. Yeah, so I mean, if you like Little Nightmares, then it's a bit of a no-brainer to give Reanimal a go because, like you say, it's from Tertia, the same studio. Pseudo-sequel, as it were.
Yeah. And then the last one for me, I'm like cautiously interested by Roadside Research. It's sort of one of those supposed to be a new genre of friend slop. I haven't. The only sort of friend sloppy type game that I have played recently has been Schedule 1, and I've not played it with anybody else, but I have really, really liked it. Seems to be a similar sort of vibe, except you're not like playing Drug Dealer Simulator, but there's a mixture of sort of managing, doing weird shit, a little bit of sort of sci-fi alien comedy involved. I don't know. I wanna give it a go. I think it could be quite fun to play with a group of people. But yeah, I like
their paper faces. Yeah, it's got that going for it. I don't know.
It does look funny.
Yeah. hard to tell if like the gameplay loop will be worth a damn or not from at this point in time.
Exactly, yeah.
But I like the paper masks. Look, give me another.
This one is an interesting one because I really didn't like this when it was first revealed for certain reasons, but it looks a lot better here, which is Crowsworn. Which
I didn't like that.
Of course.
Carry on. Of course. How dare you? I like loads of things, damn it.
Yeah, it was Crowsworn, this one, which was the sort of Plague Doctor 2D one. So this was announced quite a long time ago because there was a Kickstarter for it. And at the time, I really didn't like the look of it because, and you can still see a lot of this to be fair, it's very clearly inspired by Hollow Knight. That's like a primary inspiration of this game. But when it was revealed initially, it was very artistically derivative, I would say, to the point where it wasn't passing off as Hollow Knight, but it's really close.
Mm-hmm.
They have, however, gone back and they've considerably, I would say, overworked most of the arts, kind of overdone most of the art style. So now it looks more unique. It looks more like its own thing. It's a lot more colourful and brighter, and it's still pretty dark, but it's more interesting. And the animations as well are quite distinct now. So I really like the look of this, actually, now. I think it looks really cool. They've said before that it's not just, obviously, Hollow Knight is an inspiration. They've been pretty clear about that, but also Devil May Cry, they've said is an inspiration for this game as well. So I think they said other games, but I can't remember what.
Do you know what puts me off with this one?
Yep.
The jump animation, which sounds really pedantic. Like, just to pick an animation and say, oh, I don't like this game because of that animation. But jumping is quite core to it. And he jumps like the animation stuck.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Straight up, do you mean? Yeah. I see what you mean. Yeah.
And I can't. Like, it's
okay,
it's a minor detail, but it's not like you're going to jump
rid of that then.
Often in this game, is it? Yeah, you're going to be doing it constantly and it looks weird. It's just little tweak and then I'll say, yeah, I like the look of that game, but I don't like the jump animation.
That's fair. But yeah, other than the jump animation, it looks good. It looks really nice. So yeah, and it's got kind of like Bloodborne, DMC, Hollow Knight, Castlevania inspiration. So I think this looks cool. It's I think it'll do, if it's a good game, it'll do well.
It just looks like they forgot to put an animation there. Like, it's supposed to do something, but it doesn't.
Can we move on from the jump animation?
No, because I'm still watching it and it's still frustrating me. Go on then. Nobody talked about Tides of Annihilation, and that had quite a big show.
I was going to mention that.
It looks really
cool. Does it?
There was actually.
Yeah. So the trailer for Tides of Annihilation, I'll bring it up, and it was essentially, it was supposed to be an uncut boss fight, right? But played quite expertly without a foot wrong or whatever. Go on then. Both of you were going to bring it up. Deadly Headley, what were you going to say?
So I think I will say it doesn't necessarily look like it is 100% my type of game, but then I said exactly the same about Expedition 33 and I loved it. I'm sure we're going to talk about that a little bit more when we go into the Game Award nominations, but we'll get back to that. I think first off, just sort of the fidelity that the game has been delivered at looks really impressive. It looks really, really polished. I'm interested in the sort of the action sequences that we've seen. I need to see a little bit more of it, but I think the presentation itself looked really impressive. I liked the stuff that it was doing with the sort of there's a bit where they're fighting on this like lake, and the action that's happening in the reflection sort of acts as like a realm shift. Similar sort of things going on in something like the not exactly the same, but in like Ratchet and Clank, where you're almost kind of shifting a world and the action is sort of happening on like the other side of this sort of barrier. It doesn't happen in the exact same way because I don't think it's sort of actually like traversing an area, but I think, I don't know. It's again, it's not typically the type of game that I would play, but it looks very impressive. And yeah, I think certainly after this year playing Expedition 33, being really caught off guard by how much I actually liked that game, my mind's more open for sure.
I have the trailer again playing at the moment, and it's I like spectacle in my games. It's kind of giving me Final Fantasy 16 vibes. Scale's different, but in terms of the way that it transitions through its encounter seems to be shooting for that kind of pacing and tempo. But I'm not sold on it mechanically. I can't quite see myself playing it. The attacks from the boss aren't like telegraphed in any way, so this is played flawlessly for the sake of the demo, and they dodge everything, but I watch it and I'm like, oh, I couldn't. I don't know what's going on most of the time in this, but presentation counts for a lot, and they're obviously aiming high, and there aren't many games that attempt spectacle in that way, so I'm keeping a very close eye on it to see how they pull off the encounters when it comes out. What are you thinking on it, Luke?
Yeah, I've got kind of mostly positive feelings about it. One, I commend them for showing something that's clearly like in dev, because it's dropping frames everywhere. It's really choppy. And I mean, that's commendable so long as they clean it up before it launches. But, you know, it's nice to see that. So in a way, if people remember, I mean, this was revealed actually about a year ago now. It was on a state of play. My thoughts haven't really changed too much from that state of play in the initial reveal trailer, which I'd say, you know, people should go and watch because there's a lot of really incredible spectacle in that as well. This is just the boss fight basically. But if you remember from that one, I think Asa, we discussed it and had a really good laugh about it, was the not so much the voice acting of the lead character, because that's Jennifer English.
Oh, was it that one?
Great. Yeah. But it was that bloody Phoenix sidekick that was like, all right, you know, doing like crappy Cockney.
Oh no,
like,
you just ruined it if that's still in there.
Yeah,
they were very wise not to show it in this trailer.
Yeah, they didn't show it in this. And also, but what they did show in this is the writing is, it's not very good. Like, at least in the bits they've shown so far, the writing is not good at all. Now, I don't necessarily mind that. It's a character action game, which, you know, is coming back in vogue, and that's great. I love character action games. I love ones with big spectacle like this that are really high fidelity. So it's not the end of the world if the writing's a bit bad and most of the voice acting is not good. But some of it is rough. But everything else I really like visually, the bar is very high on this. They're clearly really pushing the limits. I think it's UE5. They're really pushing the limits of what they can do with that engine on consoles in particular. You know, it's like inspired by Arthurian legend, Knights of the Round Table stuff. So it's like this really interesting setting, kind of heavily fantasized. So it looks cool. Like, you know, there's kind of a lot of positives to it, and then there's also some negative stuff. So
they've got jumping animations.
Well, yeah, she puts the legs up for those, so you'll like it more than Crowstorm, where he's just straight. So yeah. There you go, 10 out of 10.
There. Anybody got any more that they want to mention? Echo Generation 2. I like the look of that. Didn't play the first one. Probably won't play the second one, but damn, it looked nice.
It did look nice, yep. Agree.
Okay.
It made me quite interested in playing it, actually, because I had no interest in playing Echo Generation, the first one. But this one, yeah, a lot more.
I really like the style of it. You know, just don't know if I'll get around to it because I don't play games anymore. You'll notice when we did what have we been playing, I completely glossed over saying anything about what I've been playing because I don't know, not a video game person, you know, just here for the sake of it.
We'll find some good jump animations. It'll be fine.
Yeah. Anybody else got any others that they want to shout?
I would like someone to sell me on Dave the Diver because I've never played it or looked into it.
It's so highly rated, and I
Yeah.
see nothing in it that justifies it. And that's like, I've not played it, so I'm not saying it's bad and people are wrong. But yeah, I'm with you on that one. Like, not sold on it yet. Look, you've played everything. You got a handheld. That's a handheld game. Is it good? Have you tried it?
I only played a couple of hours on it, and then I like started playing other stuff, and I never got back to it. When I played the couple of hours on it, I was enjoying it, and I know that it expands tremendously from what you're playing in the first few hours. Like, it becomes this kind of much larger scale game in terms of mechanics and stuff. So it's one of those I really want to get back to, but it's time, all that time. But yeah, I mean, the expansion looks, the jungle thing looks really cool as well. So
okay. What about they closed it off with that Raji? Can't remember the name of it. Sequel. Thoughts?
It looked cool. But I didn't play the first one.
I really wanted to like the first one, and didn't. But it's really curious because you don't get games that kind of explore like Indian lore, right? So it was from I can't even remember the studio's name, but it was quite a different setting to what you'd typically see in a video game, which would, Norse and Greek is very well covered, and this was like, oh, it's actually this is new to me, and that's very enticing. So I gave it a go, but I just didn't get along with it. It has kind of apes like the older God of War games, but doesn't nail it in terms of the platforming mechanics. And I just wished that I liked it more than I did. So I'm very curious to see if the second one can pull me in a way that it didn't. And I am glad they did well enough to make a second one. So that's about all I can say on it, though. Okay. Well, with them out the way, Xbox Partner Showcase. A very quick overview then. So, Luke, you said you went into it with low expectations, came away pretty impressed. I kind of answered that for you, but say again, reword that. How did you find the showcase?
Good. It was good. It was much better than I thought it was going to be, and I came away interested in like 60% of what was on it, which is pretty good.
Cool.
I'd say a little bit less for me. Like it was all right. A lot of what was in there wasn't necessarily for me, but some of the stuff that was in there looks really interesting. And yeah, I'll check it out.
Okay, good. Let's move on.
I do have one very, very small news topic just before we hit the game.
Oh,
super quick. We don't have to go into discussion.
Shit.
Stalker 2 is out on PS5. It's really, really good, and you should go play it. That's the headline.
Okay, I've not got a lot to add to that. Stalker 2. A lot of people in the Discord played that when it landed last year on PC and Xbox. A lot of fans of that game, so sounds like well worth a go if you're looking for something to play.
There's so much.
There is a lot to play. Crazy. Yes, there is, and none of it is Call of Duty. So let's talk about the Game Award. It's weird. I've not seen anybody take any interest in it at all. That's besides the point. We talked about that last week a little bit. We won't kick it anymore. Let's talk about the Game Award. So the nominations are out and about, and Expedition 33 is up for a lot of them. What are we thinking, Luke? Nominations, anything surprise you for the nominations list? Anything that frustrated you? Anything that you feel should be in there that isn't? What's going to win?
Yeah, no, I mean, at least for the Game of the Year, like the main award, I think it was pretty much what I was expecting. The only question I had mentally was whether they would put 2 indie games in there, or whether they would kind of do the thing where they're just like, we'll pick one, or not we, as in just the way that the vote happens is one slips in there. So, but no, Silksong and Hades 2 both made it, which is awesome. And everything else was, I think the only other open one was maybe Kingdom Come slot, not because that's not a worthy contender, because it is, but there's a couple of games you could put there. So it was, as I was expecting. I wasn't expecting both Yotai and DS2 to get a nomination. So I thought that if one was going to get one, it would be DS2 because it was a high rated game. And it was. So yeah, it's just kind of what I thought, really. And I would expect Expedition to win that category. I'd expect it to win most of the categories it's nominated for. So yeah, nothing of like super surprising. There's always like personal preference stuff. You wish you seen, like you could see more represented there because, there's plenty of games that I could have put in and amongst that in different categories that weren't there or had limited presence. But it's just like, well, like 100. I don't know how many outlets, like 100 that this is aggregated from. So it's what it is.
Yeah, I guess so. So, Deadly Headley, you've seen the nominations. You've raged. I don't know if you've raged or not. I don't know. What do you think about it?
I haven't raged at all, actually. No, I think it's been one of those years where there's just been so much good stuff that distilling it down is really, really difficult. I have played. I've played but not completed literally half of this list. Being Expedition 33, started Death Stranding 2, played a little bit of Silksong. I haven't touched Donkey Kong Bonanza, Hades 2, or Kingdom Come Deliverance. I do really want to play Kingdom Come Deliverance. It's another one I bought on sale this week, actually, but haven't actually played yet.
So you'll put half an hour into it before the commitment issues kick in again.
Sounds about right, actually. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a pretty solid list. I haven't played Hades 2, so I can't really comment on whether or not I think it should be there. You're really big on Hades 2, aren't you? So yeah, what are your thoughts on the list in general?
What do you know? What's in it? So Expedition 33 is in it. I've done 2 acts of that. I'm really enjoying that. Not a perfect game by any means, but worthy of its place for sure. I've not played Death Stranding or Yote. What else was in there? Hades 2 I've played to completion, and it's really, really good, but it's not as good as the first one.
Yeah. You've got Bonanza, Silksong, and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2.
Yeah, give it to Expedition 33. Hades 2 is great. Yes, it is FTW. I'm not putting it down or downplaying it in any way whatsoever. I did review that game and talk it up. I wouldn't expect it to top that pile. Expedition 33 is more novel. Innovation counts for something. This is the difficulty with the Game of the Year awards, is nobody really knows what counts for anything because there is no set criteria. There is no judgment criteria for it, so it can be whatever anybody feels on the day. But for me personally, Expedition 33 being such a breakaway from other games that are around, because they're not like turn-based isn't big, hasn't been big, and this one has had an impact and done something. It's not entirely novel, but it's different, right? It's not following a trend, it's setting one, and it deserves a lot for that. I know that Hades set a trend, but it's following its own trend with the sequel, So for me, yeah, it's fairly clear cut on that one. I haven't played Death Stranding 2. I know Luke's a big fan of that. Luke, would you give Death Stranding 2 the edge, or where are you sitting with it?
Oh, on a personal level, you mean? Yeah, I still don't know what my game of the year is. I'm still like, because on that list I've finished Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2, Donkey Kong. I've close enough to finishing Hades 2. I've not started Silksong yet, and I've put about 20 hours into Kingdom Come, and I need to go back and play that. So I've played quite a lot of it.
It's a good run, yeah.
Yeah, it's a good run of it, but like I could easily pick any of the 4 that I've just mentioned, apart from Kingdom Come, which I'm not close to finishing, and say that would be a solid, deserving game of the year. I keep flipping between all of them, like as to which one I would pick. I think I always tend to come back to Expedition 33 just because of the story of that game. I think is particularly special and compelling, and but it's like even Donkey Kong. Like I go back to thinking about how I felt when I was playing Donkey Kong, and it's probably the most fun I've had like in a game this year. So like it's like as you said, it's the criteria is really different. Like it's so ephemeral. Like the criteria, it's like a feeling more than anything. It's not like by textbook of X, Y, and Z. That's your game of the year. It's kind of like just finger in the air. What did you feel was the best game? And that's just a complete. What's the impact of a particular game on you? So I don't know, but I think in terms of what I think will win this, I think it will be Expedition.
Yeah,
and it's like it's obviously going to be voted on by people that, by and large, haven't played all of the games that are nominated, because that's a big ask, and not many people have time to play all of them at once. So it's always going to be like quite a light-hearted bit of fun award, as it were, not to be taken too seriously. Yeah. But are there any games that you feel have been really hard done by for not being nominated into either the main category or other categories where you think they deserve to be?
I'll let you go first, Luke.
Not necessarily. I mean, maybe like having just finished Dispatch, I think that probably could have gone into like some of the categories here in terms of like performance in particular, and story, like one of the narrative categories. But it obviously finished its. It sometimes it's just bad timing, right? Like because it finished its run of episodes quite recently, by which point probably everybody's cast a vote. So even if people like had thought, oh, actually having finished this now, I'll go back and revote, they couldn't. So so maybe that for some categories. I would have liked to see Silent Hill F get a bit more representation, because I'd put that really highly in my own list. But I think the VA for Hinako is nominated in the best performance category for that, and I think that's the first foreign, like non-English language speaking nomination, which is a testament to like ever for the Game Awards, which is a testament to how good she is in that game. She's amazing, and I think I would have her win that category, even more so than a lot of the Expedition performances. Terrific. So maybe that, but like Indiana Jones is another one that's like unlucky because it's just unlucky as to when it launched again, because it launched at the original launch was last year, and it just falls into that out of sight, out of mind trap. Like obviously
it missed the vote cutoff last year, didn't it? And then like they've obviously not sort of counted the PS5 port this year.
Yeah, it's just out of sight, out of mind. I mean, I'm glad Troy Baker got a nom for his performance because he's incredible in that game. But like, the PS5 version coming out, most reviewers have already reviewed it, so to them it's not a game for nomination this year, even though technically it is. So it's just one of those things. It just Jedi Survivor, I think, was a game like that where they just like it's just a very unlucky release, right? And then it just kind of gets forgotten about, no matter how good it is. It'll be interesting this year to see how Metroid Prime 4 does, if that reviews really well, because obviously that will be eligible for next year's. But that may miss out on stuff if it's good. So I don't know. Yeah, nothing that I was like, oh, that it's an outrage. Although I would never say that anyway, because it's just an award show. So
yeah,
fully functioning adult.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Just a normal human being.
Just a normal human being does not get. Just normal innocent men who don't get angry about award shows.
Oh man, there's a few. So I haven't finished Split Fiction, but I've seen FTW mention that.
A great game as well.
I think Split Fiction. Yeah, I think I'm surprised that's not on there actually, because I thought that was really well received. And yeah, from what I have played of it so far, he's brilliant. One that I definitely can't say that it's a game that was quote unquote snubbed, but a game that I absolutely adored, but hasn't made the Game of the Year list for me was The Alters. I loved that game. I thought it was brilliant. I found it so thought provoking and so introspective in terms of both the story it was telling you, but also those kind of like broader life and existence questions that sort of make you kind of just retrace your own entire life back and go, how different would my life be if this changed or this changed, or if I decided to take this job instead of that job, or I went to this school instead of it. Just, yeah, I found that a game making my brain do that. I loved it. I thought the gameplay was stressful at times in a way that felt sort of appropriate for the story, and the kind of the pressure that was put on you to like either leave an area in a certain amount of time, or just trying desperately hard to literally stop your alters from killing each other. Just brilliant game all round. And yeah, I kind of wish that got a little bit more praise. It has been nominated for best sim/strategy game. That is alongside Final Fantasy Tactics, Jurassic World Evolution 3, which I really want to play, Civ 7, forgot my Roman numerals for a second, Tempest Rising, and 2 Point Museum. I haven't played any of those, but yeah, The Alters would by default win my vote there.
Fair enough. Okay, I think that's probably enough for the Game Awards until the thing actually happens, and we can talk about it again, I'm sure. But for now, I think it's probably about time we move on to our questions. That's Isla's kind of forewarning to bring them up if she's not there. Does anybody have anything? Oh shit, you don't need to. But does anybody have anything else they want to throw in before I read this one off?
No.
That is fine. Let's get to it. Tom hasn't asked because he's not here, but FTW has asked on behalf of Tom, what's not to like this week?
There's always so much. It's always hard to isolate one thing.
Really? I was thinking it was the other way around, and you were both really struggling because you've had such fantastic weeks, and you're like, it's really difficult to think of something negative. Oh, but no, the list is too big.
That's the one.
Nothing awful, just I'm trying to think. People in a work context who want things to be done prior to Christmas. That really annoys me because it's like the only. It's like they've
You've got over a month, Luke. Come on.
Well, no. Listen, it's like that they've sat down and gone, we are the only ones with this idea, right? But everybody has the same idea, so it just means that everybody's really busy for Christmas because of some arbitrary, stupid deadline. Doesn't need to be before Christmas. It can wait until the new year. So that's what's not to like.
Tell them. Fair. Deadly Headley.
There's so much to dislike. That might be the thing. That might be the one. There's so much to dislike, and I really don't like the fact that there is so much to dislike. It's such a cop out.
It's quite messy.
We can do so much better than that, even though it's accurate.
Like this is something though, because you were literally in hospital with abdominal pain, and that has not made your list. Well, it's on there, but it's not.
I did consider it. Yeah, I did consider it. It's it's spending a literal night in A&E, with some aches and pains. That'll be there.
Yeah, fair. I like everything, so I can't really answer.
Bullshit.
Yeah, it's just a lack of time, right? That's always going to be a thing not to like. Like I said, I've not played much. I spend all of my time with my head down learning to make games and things at the moment, and I've neglected so much. I've neglected playing games. I've neglected sorting out stuff in the Discord of the channel and stuff. So community games will be back and running properly next week. That's a thing that was not to like for the last couple. Now it's back. We'll organise that properly and get those going. Streams and things will be happening again next week. But I'm what's not to like. I've let everybody, and especially myself, down. And I will do better. So, next question, please.
I like this one.
What do you put on a potato? Who's that from? Wait a minute.
Isla.
That's from Isla. Okay, so what do you put on a potato?
I had a jacket potato with tuna mayo and salt and pepper and some cheese about 10 minutes before coming on this show. So
disgusting.
No, that's elite. It doesn't get any better than that. It doesn't get any better.
Branston beans. It has to be Branston. Fuck Heinz. They're not good. It's Branston beans or nothing. Branston baked beans.
Strong opinion.
Recommend those.
I've never had those.
They're good.
But I will bear that in mind. Luke, you know the question.
Yeah, it's the same as Deadly. Tuna and cheese.
Do you have a strong opinion on Beans brand as well?
I'm probably on the opposite side of that. I'm probably a Heinz person. But
have you had Branston?
Yeah, plenty of times. I wouldn't say I'm not one of those people there's much in it personally. They're both good. I'm
shocked by that. I need to see what kind of Heinz beans you're having, because they've lost all taste and texture and merit for me over the Branston one. I implore you to do some sort of blind taste test and rethink. But
okay. I'll get on it.
See, Isla has said, because I put the question to Luke, she said you can't put Luke on a potato, and I disagree. I reckon I can do that.
Have to be a big potato though, wouldn't it?
I'm bloody good with Photoshop. I can and will.
You could.
On a potato if you need me to.
Yeah, no, I reckon that's achievable.
With his permission, obviously.
We'll put it on the list. I would put on a potato, another potato. I don't know. I've not had a jacket potato for a long time, so I just put another potato on it.
Classic topping.
Classic potato with potato.
Just like they did in the war.
Yeah, no flavors for anybody. Let's have the next one, please. It's already there. Wait a minute. My weekly question: why have you not bought Shinobi yet? I can't get Shinobi yet, FTW, because budgeting and time. So if I did get it right now, I wouldn't actually get around to playing it for a little bit. But it is on my list. I will do it. I'm really quite looking forward to playing Shinobi because of the jump animation. It's so exciting, so dynamic. So wow, I just jumped. So yeah. Okay. Favorite Office application? Mine is PowerPoint. Do you have a favorite Microsoft Office application?
No, they're all shit.
Oh, it's controversial. What do you use instead?
I have to use them, sadly, but they're just shite. So
fair.
Yeah.
Deadly Headley.
I guess it has to be Word, because I despise Excel anyway. It's miserable, and I have a vendetta against PowerPoint. You know what? It's really funny, right? You would think that a graphic designer would never be asked to use PowerPoint, because there are so many other programs that are more powerful and more capable than PowerPoint. But unfortunately, there is nothing better than PowerPoint for presentations. But when you design in PowerPoint and you are a professional designer and you have to make things look really beautiful, making things look really beautiful in PowerPoint is really fucking difficult compared to using something like Adobe InDesign or Illustrator. Like, unnecessarily just... I realize this question is going drastically off topic, but basically, I don't necessarily have a favorite unless we count Word by default. But with a passion, I cannot fucking stand PowerPoint. If you made PowerPoint and you're listening to this show, fuck you.
I quite like Outlook, as much as you can like an application. Outlook does the job, gets my emails. I've never really considered a different email client. That's functional. Excel scares me because I can't quite fathom how bad it is for calculations in terms of efficiency. I look at Excel, I'm like spending my time with my head down trying to like code for games and things and trying to figure out how much I can calculate within a frame. And then I look at the way that Excel handles data and I'm like, well, PCs can't do very much. How am I going to make a game? So Excel is like on my shit list just for that, because how is it as slow as it is for the for data? And yeah, so that's not a good one. Don't care for the others particularly. I'm going to go with Outlook. It's the only one that I use day to day, really. Next. It is FTW. Does anyone think Half-Life 3 will be at the Game Awards? And when it ends up not showing up, will you be surprised? Is anyone expecting Half-Life 3 at the Game Awards? Do Valve have good relations with Jeff Keighley? Valve, actually, wasn't aware of them having relations with like a close relationship with anyone in that kind of sphere, but it seems they do, because the reveal of the Steam hardware went through a lot of familiar faces that were invited into Valve HQ to take a look at it and stuff. So they obviously do use those connections. Are you expecting anything from them at the Game Awards?
No, but it'd be nice. Yeah. It would be interesting to see an announcement. And I mean, like, the Game Awards is actually, it's a massive show, isn't it? Like, it does get one hell of an audience size. I don't know. Be interesting, but could go either way, I think.
Luke?
Yeah, I don't think it will be at the Game Awards, or I'd be surprised if it was. I think that Keighley does have a pretty good relationship actually with Valve in various different ways, but it just seems like it's one of those announcements that you don't need it to be at the Game Awards, even though the Game Awards is like a massive place to announce games, and they could just do their own thing like they did with Alex, where they were just like, yeah, we're doing a VR game, guys, here it is. So I think if we're gonna get an announcement this year, it'll be before the Game Awards, but not at the Game Awards.
Okay. 100% definitely entirely positive that it's going to be at the Game Awards. If it doesn't show up, lovely. I don't know what I'll do. I got nothing. Damn, I was going to say something drastic and it was going to be terrible because there's a fair chance that it's not there. But yeah, that definitely 100% there. Next.
Isla warned that the questions are unhinged this week.
Oh dear.
A lot of them are, the most unhinged ones are from Isla.
That's how she.
Saying,
yeah.
I'm on board with it. Like, it's fine. Just
are you? You can go first then. Shag, marry, or kill Copilot, ChatGPT, or Gemini?
It's actually Krill, but that might be just.
Does it say Krill? Oh.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. I will unalive Copilot. That's an easy one.
Yeah.
I think ChatGPT has pulled me out of some really good spots, including helping me prototype a. So tangent, but fuck it, we're at the end of the show, and these tangents at the questions bit are often quite nice. I'm assuming. Tell me if I'm wrong in chat. Please don't be nice to me. I have been applying for a UX UI designer job this week. I have been using Figma for that. If you know anything about UX UI design and digital design and stuff, Figma is sort of the go-to for doing that type of work. But a lot of the work that I have done historically, because of the software package that's exactly what I said, Isla. I can't hear the word Figma without hearing the word balls afterwards. Don't know why, but glad it's not just me. I've been using something called Adobe XD for a lot longer than Figma. Anyway, for this this job that I'm applying for, I have had to use Figma for the task, and there was a particular sort of scrolling interaction that I needed to make as part of the demo that I'm working on for this this job that I'm applying for, and ChatGPT helped me figure it out. So marry ChatGPT, unalive Copilot. I'll fool around with Gemini.
Yeah, same, exactly that. Copilot's the pits. So
Okay,
I've not even tried it. I'm just I'm not even interested.
Awful.
So I'm going to say you're both weird. It's okay to say actually none of those apply and just move on. So
to not engage with the premises of the question, basically.
Yeah. You can say, I'm not actually looking to shag any particular AI, so I'm just going to move on from there. I will say, so Copilot, I've been using it a little bit for some things. It's quite good, but Microsoft's strategy around it is a concern. So it might be worth killing it, even though it's good. Kill it because Microsoft want to put it everywhere, and it's quite upsetting. Like, no, I don't want the Windows taskbar to operate Copilot agents for me at all times.
You want some help with your games? No, I'm good. Are you sure? Yes.
Give me back that performance, damn it. Yeah, like so that needs killing for that sake. But
how about now? Do you want some help with your games on your phone app? Instead, no.
But if you're listening, Copilot, I don't mean it. Please continue to help me.
I fucking do. Go away.
Yeah. Next question, please. That might be the last. Is it the last? It's not the last. It is the last. I think that's our questions done. I'm trying to scan through. It is. PowerPoint is horrific. Risk it. That's not a question. That's a typing error. That's the wrong box. You meant that as a comment, I think, but we'll take it.
I did see Risk it ask when we think the next Xbox will be announced. I don't think the Game Awards this year. I'd like to see them do it at the Game Awards because I think the audience is definitely there. I could also, I don't know, what is it? It's 2025. What's the rumor? Like 2027. So could be showcased next year.
It's funny because ordinarily you'd say like console announcements, they try and hold them back to continue selling what they're already selling.
Yeah,
but that's not necessarily true right now because they're not trying very hard to sell the current hardware. So they could announce fairly early, like try and drum up excitement for the next one. They've already sacrificed the current one to some degree, really, and that's not pointing fingers and fault at them. Like just the way that prices have gone has made that an inevitability, really. But yeah,
I saw a pretty hammy news story, and it was hammy because it was straight up just like Xbox bad, but actually it will affect everybody. I think the headline was Xbox console prices could go up again because of increased RAM prices. Increased RAM prices will affect everything, not just Xbox console hardware. It will affect everything that uses RAM. Have you guys seen the price of RAM lately?
I've seen it's like doubled since you bought it, something like that.
Literally doubled. Yeah, literally doubled since I bought it. It's fucking crazy. I paid 92 quid for 32 gig of DDR5, and it is now 178.
It's weird because it went up like that a couple of years ago as well. It's very susceptible to natural disaster in Japan, I think, memory traditionally. So yeah, hopefully it'll come back down again. But yes, everything going up. There were rumors that Nvidia and AMD might altogether stop trying to cater to the low and medium end of graphics cards.
That actually is my things that suck. That's my things that suck for the week. It's not that there is a volume of things that suck. I can't actually remember what my other answer was, but yeah, it's that RAM prices going crazy because of AI. Like, we don't fucking need that. Nobody asked for that. Nobody wants it. Just stop it.
Do you ever witness anything that's going on with Grok? That's been really fucking funny this week. Grok is like, at points, it's freaking phenomenal as AI, and at points, Elon has to fuck with it.
It depends on how fragile Elon's ego is feeling at the time.
Yeah, there's been great conversations where it's clearly been told that Elon's the best at everything. So people have been asking Grok to like, who's going to win in a fight, Mike Tyson or Elon Musk? So Elon's going to win that.
Poop eating competition.
Piss drinking, pooey, and all of these things came up. It's like, Elon's definitely going to be best at that. And I think he had to go in and remove them all now. But it was a sight to behold as it all unfolded on Twitter. Such a shame because it's such a good AI apart from that. Like it's good in its answers where it hasn't been manipulated in that way.
Yeah.
It's like, damn. Remember when it went all Mecha Hitler? The dangers of this stuff when you consider who's in control of AI. Like Elon's an obvious example because he's done proper Bell and things and ruined it. But all round, you know.
As long as Elon or Grok aren't having an off week, Grok is brilliant. But yeah, if either of those things are not having the best week, then it's bin fire.
Yeah. Funny stuff. Anyway, I think that's all of our questions for today. We've gone through enough of our topics and things, so we'll round off there. Thank you everyone for coming through again. I know I didn't even tell anyone we were doing it until 5 minutes after we were supposed to start. That's again, I'm not good at stuff, but you know, we're here. We had some people come through, so much appreciated. Thank you for that. Deadly Headley, good to have you back on. Say to people whatever you want to say to people.
Thanks for coming. Thanks for hanging out. It's been nice chatting with everybody, both you guys and the chat as well. I am in all the usual places, mainly Twitter at the moment, for better or worse. I have a video out on YouTube. It's a little bit old now, but it's I would actually argue it's probably the best bit of editing work that I've done. I'm so proud of that. It's basically a thought piece on Halo going to PlayStation, the impact of that on Xbox more broadly, where I see the ecosystem now, and pointing out that console wars are dumb. That's about it.
Fair, thank you, Luke. I'm going to put you on a potato.
Please do. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Carry
apart
on.
Apart from that, I've had a good great time as always. Echo what Deadly said. Great to chat to you too, and obviously the chat as well. Apart from that, just join the Discord.
Yep, good shout. Do that. That is it. So thank you both. Thank you everyone, and we will see you next time.